All right, hey guys, I'm here with Paul Brown. He's one of the most influential figures in the NFL and has a widespread legacy for how players play and how coaches coach the game of football. Brown remains the single most important figure in the history of professional football, and without him, we would not have the sport of football in its current form or anything like it. How did the coaching at the Naval Academy Preparatory School create the platform for your coaching legacy?
Um, in the beginning, it just taught me how to be around people and be real social and teach guys how to be very disciplined as far as the team aspect and just knowing what needs to be done as far as being a team.
What did it mean for you to be appointed as the head football coach for the Ohio State Buckeyes in 1941?
Honestly, I looked at that as just a great opportunity to get my foot in the door and just showing me that okay, this is my first big step as to becoming a legendary coach and just seeing how great I am as a coach.
So, from being named a head coach in 1941 for the Ohio State Buckeyes and winning a national championship in 1942, what did you do to change the team?
Um, I really just spent a lot of time getting all my players to have a lot more chemistry around each other and just getting a winning attitude instilled into my players because it just seemed like nobody really took it serious. So I felt like that was the first major step to becoming a successful team.
So, after coaching in college football, what made you take the step into the Professional Football League with the coaching position of the Cleveland Browns?
Uh, Honestly, I just felt like it was a childhood dream of mine from the beginning and just providing for my mom and my family and just trying to take the next big step as far as being a successful coach.
So, how does it feel to have the professional football team, the Cleveland Browns, being named after you?
Honestly, as far as that goes, I didn't pay too much attention to that. I really wanted to focus on just, getting the players better and just passing on the knowledge that I already know as far as being good in the game of football and just, it's an honor, but I didn't really, pay too much attention to it.
So, how did you adjust your coaching when the Cleveland Browns switched to the NFL in 1949?
Honestly, that was a time for me to switch up my coaching style as far as being so passive towards my players. Like I had to be a little bit more, aggressive and stricter as far as, getting my players to understand what it meant to be disciplined in everything we do.
So, how does it feel to have 3 National Football League titles in your career as a Browns coach?
It was a really good feeling. I used it as a way to tell me that I'm a pretty good coach and just, strive to get even more than that. But, it was always a blessing to get that many championships.
What motivated you to come back to the professional football and create the Cincinnati Bengals?
Honestly, the period that I took away from football, all it did was show me that my heart and soul was on the game of football and that I had a true passion for it and I just loved being around it. So I figured why not just go back into it.
Through all the years of coaching, what has been the biggest lesson you've learned through this experience?
The biggest lesson I've learned is that patience is virtue and that anybody can play the game of football no matter the color of your skin or how tall you are or anything. And yeah, I might have had some ups and downs in my career as far as being fired from the Browns in 1963, but it still gave me a chance to be around players and just build relationships that are everlasting.
On to the innovative side of your career, how did it feel being the first person to use game film to scout your opponents to change the way of football?
Honestly, I didn't look at it as a way to change the game of football or anything. I just looked at it as a way to make my team better and just, figure out ways to win more games and figure out how to prepare for my opponents better.
Being the first to hire a full team of assistants had to impact the way your team was coached. So take us through the way this impacted your coaching style and the benefits this brought to your team.
Hiring assistants honestly just made it easier for me to coach my players and have practices as far as me not having to do everything on my own. And, days weren't as long as they were before. And honestly, it actually led to me winning even more games because it helped me hire people who specialize in different areas on the field.
Mm-hmm. It's known that you're one of the first to test their players on the knowledge of the playbook. So how did this better your players on the field and challenge them in unique ways?
I use that as a way to make sure that everybody on my team, as far as time wise or not playing at all, just knew everything they had to do, knew where they were supposed to be, and just knew the offense, the defense, special teams, everything inside out. So I used it as a way to just better my players' knowledge of just everything they have to do.
As the evolution of football continues, what was your thought process as you invented the modern face mask?
Honestly, I wanted that to be a way to better protect my players because I've seen some pretty gruesome injuries, and I just wanted it to be like a way to make the game a little bit safer, even though it's a game that takes some pretty supernatural abilities. So.
And lastly, one of the greatest moments you started was the breaking of the color barrier. What does it mean to you to be one of the first coaches to bring African American players to play professional football?
I didn't use this as a maybe match to start the civil rights movement or anything like that. I just wanted it to be almost a life lesson to teach people not to hate each other so much and to spread love and peace throughout, and that anybody can play a game that they love to play no matter of the color of their skin.
All right, thank you to Paul Brown for taking the time to be a part of this interview, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.